Hello to all. So I'm one of the founders and CEO of Auve Tech. In the beginning, I have to be a little bit honest in a way because my presentation was planned for tomorrow. But tomorrow we are presenting our next generation of vehicles. So I'm here in front of you and talking a little bit in digitalization. So I will start from the problem. I think today we have in every topic we have said about emissions and just bringing out that almost 1/5 of emissions is from transport sector. This is one problem. Second thing, which is again with transport sector, is the sustainability and room usage. As you can see, this is quite usual city view. You have a lot of houses and also a lot of parking places. So what is our solution and where we are seeing in the timeline? We have an autonomous vehicle which is developed and manufactured in-house. We have operated in different conditions on public roads, closed and semi-closed areas. But what we are seeing in the near future is really year 25, when could be a really first mixed deployment autonomous vehicles, but really full scaling of autonomous vehicles we are seeing from different researches for year 2040. So what we do? We do last mile autonomous shuttles, which means last mile in that sentence means that usually we choose one area and we provide service in there without needing any, for every car, one person who is driving around with that. So it's in a last mile, in closed areas, routes, different public routes, but also in sometimes it's an only mile way, which means that you are not connecting other transport systems, which you are just the only transport in that area. What also means a constraint area is that we don't do Teslas. We don't want to fight with OEMs. It really means that we predetermine the areas. We make a quite good research in the area where it's safe to drive, where it's not safe to drive, and from that we make the setup of the vehicle. One thing which we have also done a little bit differently from our competitors is that we have from the beginning tried to be in every part of the business, from application analyzing, the vehicle itself and its development. Most of its parts it's developed in-house. Also the operating itself and so on, which means that at the moment we can be in this really fast changing business as flexible as possible. If you have some new sensorics coming, if you have some new possible clients who are a little bit different, but we can really make the development and changes to be really in there. And yeah, at the moment support and maintenance is also quite a big part because they are quite new technology. So we are trying to update as much possible the vehicles all the time. So this is our vehicle. It's meant speeds up to 25 kilometers per hour. It's also in a way our vision that city centers are going to change in a way that you have a lot lower speeds. You have already some city centers where you have speeds up to 30 kilometers per hour. It's up to 8 passengers inside. Why? Again, we are seeing that if you want to provide a flexible transport system, in many cases you don't have time to gather 10, 15, 20 people inside the vehicle. And also we are seeing if you have already 20 and up more people inside, then you have again one bus driver and 20 passengers. In that sentence, the efficiency really and the extra cost of the technology does not really get into the point. In that point, maybe for the next 5 or 10 years, you still have a bus driver who can manage the vehicles. The vehicle itself in technology, it uses quite a lot of LiDARs, which are really a laser-based sensorics, and also cameras and the radars for obstacle detection and overall positioning of the vehicle. And it's electric. So again, a little bit background last year from Germany, presentation from Arnold Schwarzenegger saying to the crowd that California is the most greenest area in the world. And why? Because we have Teslas. Is really the future transport made greener in a way that everybody has their personal electric vehicle? We are seeing that it's not so. We have to gather different kinds of transport solutions and more concentrate on the public transport, because this is really where the efficiency is possible to come. And again, you don't have a solution that don't allow personal vehicles to drive around. You have to provide for the people something besides that. They can say that maybe it's cheaper to not use my personal cars, and I have a similar comfortability and speed transport system to use besides of that. Just something about Baltic states and in Estonia, it's good to test in these areas because every possible things which can come from the sky, we have it. Snow coming from every side, wind, rain, every different road condition. So that has been just overall a really good testing area for us. Couple of numbers where we have been operating. So different mixed traffic operations, we have had 19 of them, and also different closed areas, which really again shows the usage of these kinds of vehicle. In mixed traffic, you have urban districts, public campuses, shopping malls, suburban areas. In the closed areas, university campuses, cemeteries, zoos, and so on. So just a picture of different projects which we have had around Europe at the moment. Next year also have some plans to go outside of Europe. And it's just sometimes it's great to see some famous people also driving our vehicles. So for example, first drive for Ursula von der Leyen in an autonomous vehicles, CEO of Deutsche Telekom, and also a king and a queen in our vehicle a couple of months ago. This is our focus. What we're seeing is that in the next 2 years, we really have to get the full understanding about how to get in the scaling and really prepare us for mass production. And year 25, we're seeing that really getting in more difficult areas, also getting the price of the vehicle down to get the vehicle operating economically. Now a little bit more about digitalization, and there is one solution in here, which is in a business district in Estonia. You could similarly see that these districts in business districts, university campuses, suburban areas, where we need to gather people from the area to one point or a couple of points, and from there we have to have an express connection between different districts or suburban areas. What does it mean? Means that you have less vehicles, personal vehicles. So in a way, in here you can see that in year 22, more than 50% of people in this district are traveling by car. And in the picture you can see that you have quite high buildings, you have quite few room for pedestrians, and you have a lot of car parks. So what we're seeing in a vision is that the data for us to work economically means that we need to gather information from all different aspects. Is it a regular pedestrian coming by, just walking from a nearby area to area where we can provide the service? You have personal vehicles gathering on one side of the area where we can get people to the offices. You have buses, you have trains, you have tram in that area, you also have an airport. So what does it mean that for us to really attend this kind of area, provide a full service, means that it has to be flexible. You have to predetermine when this kind of person at these times are most possibly to come, that we are already ready to pick them up. And what does it give is that it's not only passengers, because we are a technology company, and we have the software, we have the technology to provide autonomous transport. You have also possibility to add on different kinds of business aspects. For example, package delivery, which is also one quite an important topic at the moment. So it again adds a next layer. You have passengers, you have packages, maybe in the future you have trash, and all these systems have to communicate between them to really know and be as efficient as possible. So they have the vision in Ülemiste City that really in the next 8 years that you have 2 times less personal vehicles, and all the commuting is around the area. Inside the area you have small autonomous shuttles, package robots and so on, providing the main transport services in the area. One extra thing. We have electric vehicles, but again, if you want to provide an efficiency in the transport, you also have to have a possibility to, for example, operate 24/7. What does it mean is that you have a charging times for a regular electric vehicle, and for that you need more vehicles. So that's why we have also made one hydrogen prototype, and now in a couple of months coming out an end product where we are going to operate a couple of projects. And the idea is really that you can refill the vehicle in a minute, you can operate again for 8 hours, and it's more than enough that if you need nighttime traveling around the area, we can provide that. And a couple of years ago, we also made one supercapacitor project, and then the idea was that you can operate half an hour, and you need charging time of 15 seconds. So for us, it would be ideal. You have one main route where you're operating round and round and round. And for example, one bus stop in that route is a charging station, which is also made with supercapacitor. So every one round, you need just 15 seconds of connection. In the first generation vehicle, the bus door opens in 12 seconds. So door open, door closed, and it's done. And that's, different business cases. As much different business cases in the same platform we can integrate, it again means that we can get the price point down. But what does it again means that the data which the vehicles have to really share between themselves. From the last presentation, we now know where we can get information about regular passenger vehicles, but also public transport, trains, and so on. So this is our core team. We have small Lithuanian history also. We have grown out from Silberauto. I think maybe somebody from Lithuania knows also Silberauto. So this is our background. And we also got the former Prime Minister of Estonia in the company. So he's usually the face and opens doors for us. So we're very thankful for him. So that's all from me. If you have any questions or more, there is my contact down there. You can write to LinkedIn, wherever. I'm more than happy to cooperate and also want to really come to Lithuania to operate our vehicles. And this is a picture from last year's WRC rally in the main stage with the Estonian president and some really important kind for WRC rally also. And 3 years ago, we were the first autonomous car to drive on WRC rally stage. So we were not the fastest one, but it was still great. So thank you very much.